Hello everyone, this is Dan, commentating a puzzle strike match, this time between hdu88 and arodae6re, both very skilled players of this game. hdu88 is still tinkering around with a nerfed version of Val. For those of you who haven't heard, the nerf that's potentially in the works for her is that Burst of Speed won't be playable until your pile totals 6 or more, just because Val's been dominating tournament scenes so much recently. So, anyways, the matchup is Valerie versus Geiger. This is Geiger has a lot of swingy matchups. He has some crazy bad ones and some reasonably good ones. I think Val is certainly advantaged against him, but it's it's not as bad as, say, Geiger against Sets or Geiger against DeGray. Anyways, here's a shot of the pool for this match. Arod started out as Geiger, going with Stolen Purples turn 1. It's an interesting choice against Val. Canonically, Val is supposed to be the best SP user that there is. So this could easily turn into a Stolen Purples war right now. And if so, Valerie is generally favored to win that. It's possible that the nerfed Valerie isn't so much. But my guess is that she can still make it work really well. So Arod could be in some trouble here, maybe. He probably has a plan to make it work out. Let's see what he does. Alright, we knew he had the choice to counter crash there, and he didn't. Oh no, sorry. According to the chat log, he discarded his crash jump. So he could have redrawn it as one of the 7 chips in his bag, but prior to the draw. Looks like he did in fact redraw it. Didn't choose to counter crash. I wonder what the logic is there. Maybe he's hoping that he will be able to catch Valerie at a slightly higher pile when her crash is stolen, and so she'll die that way. At the same time, he might just want to play it safe. Hard to say. The bank is full of red chips. We have, in addition to stolen purples, we have sneak attack, combo practice, which are normally very good chips for Val. The only defense against them is thinking ahead. Definitely not as good as self-improvement in that it won't just totally shut down reds. Maybe it's warranted against the stolen purple barrage. Anyways, Arod did just steal the crash, leaving Valerie with only chromatic orb for pile control, although she's not exactly hurting for pile control at the moment. On a bank like this, I would expect that Arod would have to go up and get roundhouse or combo time to have a good shot of beating Valerie. That the interaction between time for the past and those could allow him to use it really effectively and hopefully pull out a win. I'm not sure that he really has any hope of winning this just on playing red chips. Seems like such a huge stretch for Geiger. He's normally terrible with the reds. Anyways, HDU has 4 money here and a dilemma. I mean, normally just picking out a combine is really routine with 4 money in the early game, but there's also stolen purples to try and steal some of those crashes back from Arod. And then there's the 2 gem if he just wants to be rebuying his crash, or maybe even this could set up in the longer term attack up to round a house or a combo time. Anyways, I think based on his buy this turn, HDU makes a huge decision about the direction he's going. Now that he bought the combine there and he already has the sneak attack, he looks like he kind of has locked himself into playing a rush strategy here. but he will buy back his crash at the first opportunity, I'm sure. Or I'll steal it back. He is holding a stolen purples, probably in hand right now. But of course, Arod has all 3 purples in discard, so he goes for Chromatic Orb instead. Smart. Another sneak attack. Because Arod just overdrew his bag slightly, so his bag is guaranteed to have a lot of purples. There comes the roundhouse that I was predicting that he can get a lot of extra edge with. But HDU may be able to swipe a crash back right now and then rush him down. That would be the ideal thing for him here. He really needs that crash to complete the rush, I think, but he does have a fairly good rush set up already. I'd say at the moment I'm favoring HDU to win this heavily, just so long as he doesn't play stolen purples and hit only a combine, because he sort of damaged his money with a bunch of sneak attacks. If stolen purples whiffs and hits only a combine, and then he'll be stuck without a crash gem even longer, that could be a big deal and could certainly turn this around into a win for Arod. See, does Arod have time for the past in hand? He does not, so he can't time for the past his roundhouse. That's strange, because he could have put it on top of his bag with Future Sight. Anyway, there it comes, sneak attack, stolen purples, hitting all 3 purples, as we were pretty sure that was going to happen this turn. Grabs back a crash, makes him discard the other 2, and now Arod has a really bum turn coming up for him. All he can do is buy buy a 3 cost. I'm not even sure what he wants in 3 costs. A 2 maybe? This is looking a little one-sided. I would think Arod is just going to get rushed out of the picture before he can turn around this roundhouse and make it work for him. Okay, he did grab the 2 while I predicted. So it looks like the SP was mostly just meant as a early game distraction to slow down Val and give him more time to get the roundhouse, but in that case we have to wonder why he didn't counter crash when HDU crashed him on his first turn. Oh, there comes the combine. Makes a lot of sense when you're trying to get the rush in. We'll see how long Arod manages to stay in this. He's playing R&D. What for? For the combine or the crash? The crash. Well, if he pulls the crash out of his bag, he still only gets to play it 1 time this orbit. Unless next turn he can time for the past, redraw a crash in R&D. Then he could have crash every turn despite only having it in half his draws for the orbit. That would be a neat trick if you could make that work, but it would take some luck to get it going too. Certainly looks like he'll be roundhousing into something anyways. He's only drawing 2 chips out of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chips in discard. So his odds to grab the crash on his next turn are 2 I guess drawing 2 chips, he's just 3 out of 4. Or 3 out of 4 not to get it. 1 out of 4 to get it. Oh no, but he can pull R&D, so this improves his odds substantially. That's 2 chips he has to avoid. So we're looking at 6 out of 8 times 5 out of 7 for him to die. So 30 out of 56. That means he's still dying with almost 60% probability on his next turn. He probably should have bought a crash to compensate that when he had 5 money. Bursting, okay. That's certainly going to serve him well as a rush tool. Just to have pushed it out of his deck even will help a bunch. 3 money, grabs oh, okay, a sneak attack. It makes sense. Seemed really strange that he'd choose knockdown. Interesting, he didn't play double sneak attack. That would have been a guaranteed kill, but I guess this is like pretty much just as guaranteed as, yeah, there it comes. And there's no way that Arod can survive this. You could put his entire deck in his hand and he wouldn't live it out. So, looks like hdu88 just managed to dominate that match with the nerfed Valerie. Not really sure that, not really sure that Arod ever stood a chance. Probably the pool did him in the most, giving him so few options on that. So it's really tough to analyze the impact of Valerie's nerf in that last match.